bro, he's got to look at where his Hollywood career is. Bro, the guy's taking off. The guy's, the guy's a major player now. And it's not like he's going back to wrestling when it's at its peak.
Does it mean that it's imperative for wrestlers to speak up when they do get the loss to Cena and then their momentum tanks? Is it just a product? Is it just a victim of the system because Vince just changed his mind? What does a wrestler do in that moment, like a Wade Barrett, like a Alex Riley, like a Ryback, like a Rusev? How do they regain that momentum?
Man, bro, I don't think you can, man. I don't think you can because, bro, when Vince felt a certain way about somebody, it was game over. Like you knew, like I would know not even to waste my breath. And it's funny, bro, because you talk about Rusev. Bro, Rusev was right there, right there. Yeah. So that tells me there was circumstances, in the back, whatever they were, that, because he was right there, all of a sudden he's going to take a few steps back. And once Vince decides to do that, bro, it's really, really hard to overcome, man. Really. Yeah. Well, that's why I got so much heat. I got so much heat because I would know in those meetings who was on Vince's list. So then when a talent would come to me and say, hey, Vince, why ain't I getting pushed? Why ain't this? Why ain't that? I would tell him, bro, you're on Vince's list for A, B, C, and D, and you need to correct that. And, bro, it would get me heat with them, but I looked at it that this was their livelihood, bro. They needed to know why they were stalling. And it was always something. And, bro, it could have been something somebody said. Oh, yeah. So many things. EC3 knows. So many.
Nightmare. Yeah, I was on the S list probably for what? Because a guy on wrestling is leaving the company. Like, it's insane. Yeah. And perplexing. I don't know, but, like, Vince, don't you feel that being hot and taking that loss, if you presented yourself as something different the next night, instead of business as usual, if you just brought something different, doesn't that show that maybe now this is the real guy we want? Like,
well, see, bro, but the problem is the problem is when the time comes to pay it off, and you don't pay it off because now the fans. Now the fans are like, they're done with you. There are times, bro, when you've got to pay things off. And if you don't, bro, you're going to lose the fans, man.
I don't know if any of those times were the time, though.
Yeah. Like, I think Rusev should have went over.
I don't remember it too well, so maybe you're right. But then, like, when the time was right, but Money in the Bank, the time was right there.
Oh, 100%. That was Rusev Day, and that was that was major. Yeah, absolutely.
That moment, if that happened 2 years ago on a TLC pay-per-view with CM Punk and Cena, where he loses, whatever, what? But no, because of the stalling and the waiting, it became the perfect time.
CM Punk was already well established, though. Like I think with someone like a Rusev, I think something like losing a Cena, like, it was unnecessary to me. I think that would have tipped him over, to be on that different echelon if he would have went over Cena.
Yeah, I might never have John Cena in a match in WWE ring, but I guarantee you I'm going to have him in a Rocky V style bar fight.
There you go.
Rocky.
There you go. Stuff. Last question, real quick. Should Cena come back? Because right now he's tied with Ric Flair as the most world championship reigns in the history of the business, if you will. Vince Russo, should John Cena come back and break the long-standing record of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair?
Man, bro, I just got to ask the question, and I'm just being honest here, like, because I don't know. does that really matter to anybody? Like, is it? I don't know, Chris. I'm asking you, is it that important? I think John Cena should come back because, you know, the WWE needs him. He's still a major superstar. He still looks great. He still can go. For all those reasons, I think he should come back. But I don't know, bro. Is that something that's important?
Yeah, for fans of the business, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, a lot of times people do, especially the record holder is Ric Flair. Ric Flair is, you know, arguably the greatest wrestler of all time, and so at least, you know, from a performance and a, you know, in ring, you know, just psychological, you know, psychology standpoint, people don't want Cena to come back and be the one, you know, who breaks the record of Ric Flair.
I think if Cena's doing that, though, bro, I think he's got to commit to a certain period of time.
That's fair.
I don't think at this point, I don't think he would, you know, if he comes in for a one and done, like, that's one thing. But, you know, this would be at least like 3 months. I don't see him doing that at this point in his career, man.
Yeah,
what do you think, Heath?
Yeah, the Peacemaker is way cooler than Russell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah.
So sweet. I would say that for him, if the story is right, he would do it, but he's not going to do it for the, you know, accolade or the fake record breaking. I would say too, I thought when he worked with Roman at SummerSlam, they used it as a pretty good story arc too, for him to, like, he does have some motivation. And I think they went too early because the dude's still in great shape and can go, where it just seemed like he's an old timer with like one trick pony. He's got one silver bullet. It's just this move. Like, he's still at a super high level. But I mean, they had a good match. And again, that's another thing where he went there to solidify Roman because it was the right time. So does he need to go back? No. Is he going to? I don't know. Should he? If the story's right, and if the story's right and it pisses off the low T IWC, yeah, then for sure he should.
Let's throw a little. We're heading out, but I saw a graphic that's, you know, we could see John Cena versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. It's not a thing, but, you know, that's kind of speculation based on what Logan Paul did. That's another topic for another day to watch your appetite. What's that?
Logan Paul, cool. The guy went all out there and did it.
Yeah,
he did.
And like Uncle Vince says, you know,
technically, you know, we'll talk about it another time, but I actually wouldn't be opposed to that. I wouldn't be opposed to that. To me, when I think of WrestleMania, I think of like spectacle. I think of like featured attraction matches. And
yeah, my only thing, Chris, would be, it's like, you know, bro, listen, let's all be honest here. Wrestling is nowhere near where it was, and nowhere near where it was even during Cena's heyday. You know, I would just think, like, bro, he's got to look at where his Hollywood career is. Bro, the guy's taking off. The guy's a major player now, and it's not like he's going back to wrestling when it's at its peak. He's really going back to wrestling when it's bottoming out. And I know there's a sense of loyalty there. I understand that. Yeah. But I still think you got to protect your brand, man.